Hey everyone! So, right behind me here, these are some of the most incredible bettas I've ever raised on my farm. These aren't breeding stock, just to be clear. These are showcase fish, the cream of the crop, ready to go to their new homes. I've already picked out all my breeding lines, so what you're seeing here are just the absolute VIP specimens from my collection. I'm really excited to show you what makes these fish so special. Honestly, you won't find fish like this anywhere else. I call these VIP grade for a reason. The colors, the intensity, the body shape, everything just comes together perfectly. Look at how saturated the colors are, how the scales catch the light, the overall structure. From the scales to the pigmentation to the form, it's all there. And notice how deep and rich that yellow tone is? It's completely different from what you'll see on the market. This one's a yellow steel. Oh, and here's that white scale I showed you guys before. In that earlier video, it was still pretty young. Even now, the color hasn't fully matured yet, but you can already see how bright those white scales are. Just beautiful. Right now, these are sitting at about 5.5 months old. For fish like this white scale, I always select them for my breeding program because they have incredible genetic foundation. Even though this one hasn't fully developed yet, the scales haven't reached peak brightness, the fins are still growing, and the body form is still maturing. You can already see the potential. White scale lines typically take around 7 to 8 months to fully mature. When they do, the transformation is dramatic. The scales become incredibly luminous, and the overall presence just becomes stunning. That's why these make such excellent breeding stock. This yellow, wow, this is a masterpiece. The form's a little clamped right now, but that'll clear up in a few days. Just look at how nicely those color blocks are distributed. Absolutely stunning. You know, you won't find this type of yellow anywhere on the market. Years ago, there was someone in Thailand working on this line, but they stopped. And I get it, because this is incredibly difficult work. Sometimes I'll breed 5 spawns and only get 1 or 2 fish like this. The success rate is really low. Sometimes across 10 spawns, I might only get 1 or 2 specimens of this quality. And here's a yellow, another absolute masterpiece. Look at how bright those white scales are, incredibly luminous. And check this out. The pectoral fins actually have black coloring on them. This combination is extremely rare and just stunning. And here's something important. This fish doesn't carry galaxy genes. When I remove the galaxy bloodline, you can really see how much more intense the colors become. The scales get incredibly bright. It rained last night, so today the fish are a bit clamped. But watch this white scale as it swims up. See how bright that white is? Extraordinary. This fish doesn't just have bright, eye-catching scales, it also has steel blue scale coloring. Really beautiful. This one here is another masterpiece. Just look at everything. The form, the color, the scales. See how that red really pops against the rest of the body? And the pectoral fins. They're showing 2 different scale colors. You can see it clearly, white and blue on the pectorals. But what makes this truly special, and what tells you just how difficult this is to achieve, is that the blue has this slight purple iridescence to it. That's honestly one of the hardest things to accomplish in betta breeding, getting blue scales with a purple sheen. See that subtle purple tone? That's the ultimate challenge. But what makes this truly special, and what tells you just how difficult this is to achieve, is that the blue has this slight purple iridescence to it. That's honestly one of the hardest things to accomplish in betta breeding, getting blue scales with a purple sheen. See that subtle purple tone? That's the ultimate challenge. This red hasn't even reached full color yet. Red with white scale. Here's a Nemo on a yellow base. The pectoral fins are developing some gorgeous scales. These are masterpieces among masterpieces. All of these yellows are the best of the best. So yeah, I price these fish at premium levels, and I think once you see them, you'll understand why. Some will be sold at fixed prices, others I'm going to put up for auction. The exceptionally beautiful ones, those go to auction. This one's scales haven't even fully developed yet, but the form? Already complete. Perfect. When these fish fully develop, I can guarantee you, every single one will be a masterpiece. Here's a red. Look at this one. You can see the tail hasn't reached full color yet, but just look at the overall presentation. The scales are incredibly bright, and that red contrast is just stunning. The form, everything, absolutely perfect. As these mature, the scales will develop even further. They're going to be gorgeous. Let me show you this one. Absolute masterpiece. White scale on a yellow base. Just beautiful. This is what premium fish should look like, you know? See the contrast in those scales? Super bright. I'm filming in pretty dark conditions here, and you can still see how powerfully the scales catch the light. Just amazing. This is actually one of my favorite fish in this entire batch. The colors are just perfect. I really want to emphasize this. From the yellow to the red, every color on this fish is absolutely flawless. Let me show you from a different angle, so you can really appreciate the overall presentation. Look at this. See how beautifully the color blocks are distributed? The scales are incredibly bright, with this stunning mix of pink and blue tones. And remember, this one hasn't even fully developed yet. When it reaches full maturity, it's going to be an absolute masterpiece. I know you might be wondering, how can I produce so many masterpiece quality fish? Every time I show you my premium specimens, they're all exceptionally beautiful. Take this one, for example. It takes an enormous amount of time and effort to develop a white scale line like this. And here's the thing. When you buy my fish and raise them, you'll see them get more beautiful day by day. I raise all of these fish in the most carefully controlled environment possible to maximize their quality and ensure they're healthy enough to survive international shipping, whether it's to the US, the UK, the Middle East, India, or many other countries. My fish ship worldwide, so collectors anywhere can experience and appreciate these works of art. White scale red. This is what white scale should be. Super VIP. White scale looks like this. Let me show you. Perfect in every way. Form, colors, everything. This one's only 5 months old. The scales haven't even reached peak brightness yet. But I know my fish. They're going to get even brighter. With these fish, I've been gradually eliminating as much galaxy blood as possible from the line. So, you won't see those galaxy colors on these specimens. Really rare. Usually when fish show galaxy traits, I categorize them as grade E or D. You see? This is what a masterpiece should look like. You won't find fish like this anywhere else. These are what I call absolute masterpieces. But hey, these are just a few representatives. I have so many more that I couldn't film them all today. There will be more videos, don't worry. So if you've been following my content, you know that soon I'll be selling these at slightly higher prices. Some will go to auction. If you're interested in joining the auction group, just shoot me a message and I'll send you the link. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you find the most beautiful fish from my farm.